Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to one more video. So today's video I got a build video for PvP in the DARKZONE for solo players mostly, because I play as a solo player, but of course this will work on a group also. But I do use this build as a solo player and it works very well for me. And I've been working this build before title update 4 as a fact, but there is one piece I still not have like perfect. So the build is not perfect, but I will show you guys and tell you guys what you can do to make it better, in my opinion. So let's get into this, right?
Incoming dark zone drop. Contaminated gear detected. Chopper on the way. Extraction called. Now detecting contaminated gear. Initiate. Contaminated gear detected.
Woo! Thank you guys. Oh, I got a medkit right there. GG's. Alright guys, this is gonna be the build. This is gonna be a pulse damage build with a lot of toughness for a solo player, especially in this tanky meta. So my big thing that I'm trying to achieve in here is gonna be having at least 3 reds, 11 blues and 5 yellows. We'll get into that in a second. So to start off, so the first piece is gonna be this mask, and for this one it doesn't have to be exactly the wyvern wear, but this is the only one that I have that goes with my build. So in this mask I have the wyvern wear with a 6% cooldown reduction and 15,000 health with of course the spotter talent. For the chest piece we do have a Murakami Industries. Now this chest piece actually is very special for my build, because there's no other chest piece that I have in my entire game that gives me this amount of armor. This chest piece by itself gives me 146k armor, and it's because of the attributes that I have in here. So I do have 26,000 armor and 25% total armor. With that combined, I'll get an insane amount of armor on this chest piece by itself. Plus, and goes very well, it has 7% weapon damage, so that's not bad at all. Usually you have, I think, up to 15% weapon damage, so that's half of the max. So that's not bad at all for this high armor chest piece with some weapon damage. The talent that I'm using for this chest piece is going to be BLOODSUCKER. BLOODSUCKER right now is probably my favorite talent on the chest piece right now, especially for solo players. So yeah, I've been using it a lot in many other builds. The mod slots, I'm gonna have some utilities and some defensive mod slots. For the holster, we're going with the Fairness Group AB, just so you can get that 10% assault rifle damage on this build, and the attribute is going to be 1 yellow and 1 blue to complete, because we're gonna need a lot of blues and yellows. So this one I do have 35,000 health, which is a great amount of health. I think the health in here goes up to 40,000 if you can find one, but yeah, so 35 is not bad at all. And the talents, I do have precise, which is give me 15% headshot damage, but if you're on console you can go with something like this. Another Fairness Group AB holster that I have, it has a blue and a yellow, exactly what I need with the talent Devastating. If you're on console, definitely go with Devastating, because you might want to hit on the body shots instead of the headshots. I play on PC, that's why I go with precise. Then moving on, let's talk about the backpack. So the backpack is where I wish I had something better. This backpack, it has a lot of armor, right? I have 104k armor it gives me, but it doesn't have what I'm looking for exactly, right? So this one has 2 blues and 1 yellow, which is 16,000 armor, 21,000 health, and 128 skill power. But the talents are kinda not what I want. It has talent on the ropes, and hardened is not too bad. I don't mind have hardened in here, but my biggest problem it has on the rope. I do not use this on this build, so I do not need it in here. The perfect solution, or the perfect backpack that I wish I had in this build, would be something like this. This Murakami right here, it has 31,000 health, 5% weapon damage, and 309 skill power with the talent efficient. I need this talent on this build. Once I find a better Gilligard with this talent, I will get it on this build. This talent right here is very underrated, especially for solo. You will run out of armor kit a lot, so using this talent you have 15% chance to not consume the armor kit. So let's say if I had, like I said, this backpack as a Gilligard, I would put it in the build. I do not use it, right? You guys might ask, so why don't you use it? It's because if I equip it, you will see I will lose 1 yellow, and the Gilligard, they have 1 more extra slot compared to the Murakami, and that's the reason. If you see, the Murakami has 1 slot, and the Gilligard, they do have 2 slots for mods, and that's how I will accomplish the stats that I need for this build, which is, like I said, 3 red, 11 blue, and 5 yellows. So that's the point that where I wish I could change. Once I get a better one, I will change it, but for now this Gilligard right here is what's doing the job for me. Moving down to the gloves, I do have a Murakami. This one has 6,000 health, 6% assault rifle damage. I will be getting some more damage in there once I find a better assault rifle damage. So just think of that hitting a lot harder. If you see on the footage me playing PvP, I'm playing with 6% assault rifle damage. Imagine if I had like 10% in there, so I'll be hitting a lot harder. And the talent of the show is going to be compensated. Weapon damage is increased by 15% when your critical hit chance is below 20%. So I do have way below 20% critical hit chance, so I will be getting that 15% weapon damage increased at all times. And then on the knee pads we have another Gilligard. Like I said, probably my favorite type of brand sets in the game is going to be the Gilligard, because they give you so much mod slots. This one I do have 22,000 health, and the talent is going to be Cloaked, a talent that's not used a lot, which what it does is when your armor is depleted, nearby enemy skills are disrupted for 10 seconds, can occur every 30 seconds. So let's say you are fighting, and especially now that people still use the defender drone, if they destroy your armor, that defender drone is gonna go away. Now with this amount of armor and health, and counting the bloodsucker that I have on my chest piece, let's say when they deplete your armor, you're gonna destroy their skills, and you might get your armor back once you destroy their armor, because I get a lot of armor back with this the bloodsucker. Believe me, I love this talent. It's been my favorite talent right now on the chest piece, and I do recommend it a lot. So that's one of the reasons I use Cloak, because there's nothing else in here that you could probably use, so Cloak is the best option. And then the mod slots, I have 2 blues to complete that 12 blues out of 11 that I need for this build. The guns, it's gonna be a P416. Nothing too surprising in here. It's one of the best guns in the game, and this one has the talent Optimist and Extra. The way I mod this one, let me show you guys. Very important on the scope, you want to go with the ACOG scope, the 4 times, because if I use the Nemesis as my secondary, I will get that 25% damage on the headshot if I use anything that scopes in, and it will count the ACOG as a scope that scopes in, so you will get that extra % headshot damage on this build. The rest of the mods is gonna be on the grip 10% accuracy, on the magazine 10 extra rounds, and then on the muzzle I have a loud vent brake that gives you 10% optimal range. P416 actually lacks a little bit on the optimal range, so putting some optimal range there is not bad at all. So the secondary, like I said, is gonna be the Nemesis. Nothing special, you guys know about this sniper rifle. And then sidearm, like I said, also it's nothing special, it's just a sidearm I have on the third talent, protected reload. While equipped, this weapon grants 10% bonus armor while reloading. Alright, now to the skills, which is very important for this build actually, because we're using the spotter, so it's gonna be a pulse build. I do have to have at least a pulse in this build, right? So it would make no sense. So on this build there's two options though. I've been switching between both of them because they both have advantage and disadvantage to one another. So the first one that you could choose is the scanner pulse. This one, the advantage that it has is it has a bigger radius, so it has 52 meters affected radius, but the downside is only up for the duration of 10 seconds. And then the second pulse, which is the remote pulse, the downside is that it only affects on a radius of 12 meters, and the upside or the advantage of it is that it will stay up for 2 minutes. 120 seconds is 2 minutes, so that's the upside, the advantage of this pulse. So I've been, like I said, bouncing between both of them. I would consider using the pulse, scanner pulse, if you move a lot, if you're running a lot, and then if you found the spot or you find a lot in one spot, let's say on the occupied DARKZONE checkpoints, maybe you want to use the remote pulse. And then the secondary, it's gonna be just a Kim launcher secondary skill, because it's the best skill for healing the game, so why not? But yeah guys, that's gonna be it. That's the build. I've been using this build a lot. Like I said, I've been working on this build since before update, title update 4. I just need to get this last piece though, the backpack, to get this build better the way I want. And I've been waiting for so long to make this build video, and if I keep on waiting, you guys never gonna see this build video. So I just put it out and show you guys what I need to make this build more perfect, and you guys can figure it out by yourself if you're trying to make the same one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I was helpful enough. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit me with a like. If you're new, you can subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.